The lesson outcome for this video is I can solve multi-step equations with variables on one side. There are two steps that we're going to take in solving equations. Number one, we're going to simplify each side of the equation, and during this simplification process we will use the distributive property sometimes, combining like terms sometimes both. Then step two is to solve the equation by using the order of operations in reverse. So instead, well, we'll talk about that later. So let's try this example. Again, step one is to simplify each side of the equation. And when we say each side of the equation, we mean the opposite side, or each side of this equal sign. So on the left-hand side of the equal sign, we have 2w plus 3 times the quantity w plus 4. We need to simplify that side. To do so, we're going to use first the distributive property. We're going to distribute the 3 like this, and then like this, just as we showed in the distributive property video. To simplify, we're going to rewrite, I'm going to make my cursor a little bigger. We're going to rewrite 2w and then plus 3 times w when we distribute, so 3w plus 3 times 4. Again, as we're distributing here, we're multiplying, and 3 times 4 is 12. Then we're going to use our equal sign and the 27 on the other side. At this point, we still need to simplify the left-hand side of the equation. And in this case, we can combine like terms, which have like variable parts, 2w plus 3w. 2w plus 3w is 5w, and then we have plus 12 equals 27. Now at this point, the left-hand side is simplified completely, 5w plus 12. We cannot combine those together because they do not have the same variable part. And the right-hand side of the equation is 27, which is also simplified. So now we're going to use the order of operations in reverse, because we're not simplifying, we're solving. So we're going to start down here at the bottom and we're going to work our way up. So we're using the order of operations in reverse to solve. So we're going to start by adding or subtracting from left to right. Notice we do have an addition sign, so we have to do the opposite of addition in order to get it away from the variable. Again, the goal here is to get solve until we find out what the variable w represents. So we need to get everything away from the w. We need the w to be 1w at the end. So we need to get rid of the 12. In order to get rid of something, we need to do the opposite operation. So if we have plus 12, we need to subtract 12. If we subtract 12 on one side of the equation, we need to always subtract that same value, do the same thing to the other side of the equation. So over here, we need to subtract 12. Positive 12 and negative 12 make 0. So that's gone because it's 0. We don't write the 0 down, but instead we will write the 5w and equals 27 minus 12, which is 15. Now at this point, we did our addition and subtraction. There's no more. Now we need to do multiplication or division. Since 5 and w are right next to each other, that means multiplication. To undo this, we will divide. We're going to divide this side by 5. And if we divide one side of the equation by 5, we need to divide the other side of the equation by 5 as well. On the left-hand side, 5 divided by 5, right here, 5 divided by 5 is 1. So now we're left with 1w equals 15 divided by 5, which is 3. Now we don't need to say 1w, because when w is by itself, it means 1w. So at this point, if we wanted to just say w equals 3, we're good. Let's try another one. Again, we need to simplify on the left-hand side of the equation, and the right-hand side of the equation is already simplified. We're going to distribute that 7 that's in front of the parentheses, but be careful because we're actually going to be distributing it as a negative 7. So we're going to multiply this negative 7 by x, and we're going to multiply this negative 7 by the 2. So So when we rewrite this, we're going to say 4x. Now negative 7 times x is negative 7x, or minus 7x. I'm going to bring this minus sign straight down, so here it is. And now we're going to do negative 7 times 2. Negative 7 times 2. Notice the minus a negative that shows up right here will become a plus. So we think about adding, because subtracting a negative is adding. Equals 26. Now at this point, because it looks a little messy, I'm going to rewrite it. Never be afraid to rewrite a step. It'll help you make less mistakes. So plus 7 times 2, we might as well simplify that as 14 equals 26. At this point, we have to combine like terms. We have a positive 4x right here, and we have a negative 7x right here. Positive 4 plus negative 7 is negative 3x plus 14. Once again, we're going to use the order of operations in reverse to solve. We're going to start down here and work our way up. Addition and subtraction comes first, so we're going to subtract 14. Again, the opposite operation. We're also going to subtract 14 over here. We're left with, this becomes 0, so we don't need to show the adding of 0. So negative 3x equals 12. 26 minus 14. Now we need to multiply or divide to undo an operation. Again, this is multiplication right in here, so we need to do the opposite, which is division. I'm going to divide by negative 3, again on both sides of the equation. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So we have 1x equals 12 divided by negative 3, which is negative 4. Again, we don't need the 1 in front, so I'm going to use that to just draw in my box here. Okay, try this one on your own. When you're finished, push play and check to see how you did. All right, this time the left-hand side of the equation is already simplified. It's at 46. On the other side, we have 6x minus 2 times the quantity x minus 5. The first thing we need to do is distribute our negative 2. We're going to multiply it by the x, and we're going to multiply it by 5. 46 equals 6x. We wrote everything as is, and now we're going to distribute negative 2 times x, which is minus 2x. I'm going to bring down this minus sign again. Minus negative 2 times 5. Now if you want to do that right now in your head, negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And again, this minus, a minus right here becomes a plus. Now, we need to combine like terms. On the right-hand side, here's 6x, here's negative 2x. They have the same variable term, variable part, I should say. So we are going to rewrite 46 equals 6x minus 2x is 4x, and then we have plus 10. Again, we are going to solve now using the reverse of PEMDAS. I'm going to subtract 10. I need to do addition and subtraction first. Subtract 10. If I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. 46 minus 10 is 36. Equals 4x, and positive 10 and negative 10 makes 0. Again, I could write plus 0 here, but it's unnecessary. Now we need to multiply or divide. Since 4 is being multiplied by x, we're going to divide x by 4. We have to divide both sides. 36 divided by 4 is 9, and 4 over 4 is 1, so we have 1x. Again, you can leave the 1 out in front, or you don't need to put it there. So x is 9. How'd you do?